Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is Max. I'm a massage therapist and an osteopath here in Barcelona, Spain. In this video we will see a lot of technique to try to work all the body, mostly mobilization of the hips like you see right now. If it's the first time you land on this channel, I have a Patreon where I give deep tissue massage to plus size women, and I suggest you, if you like a really good massage, to go and check there my Patreon. Today we are working on all body, so we're gonna work on hips, we're gonna work on the back, we're gonna work on the shoulder. This is a nice stretch of the iliopsoas, and then we have some stretch of the glutes. I won't talk for all the video. I will let you enjoy how the session has been developed as you see. But I want to suggest you to listen to my voice just to understand why I'm doing certain technique. So this, for example, is a famous what is called lumbar roll. Lumbar roll is helpful for pain in the back, especially in the lumbar. That's why it's called like that. In this way we will correct the L4 and L5, and sometimes even the sacrum. So the nominate, if it's tilted back, you can make it in equilibrium again. So most of the time when you find a shorter leg, if you do that technique, the legs all of a sudden become longer again. You can even do the same result just with stretching the psoas. I noticed that the dysfunction that you can see in the leg, most of the time, just with the stretch of the psoas, the legs go in to the same level, levelize. So can you say levelize? I'm not sure, but yeah, you understand what I mean. So you put an equal distance in the ankle. So now we're working on the tibialis. What you see before was a manipulation on the cuneiform and the talus, and now you will see a technique here with correction of the knee, and then you will see some technique of a Thai massage. I use this technique lately. It's very useful for the sacral and from the lumbar, just to relax. It can be a little invasive, so be sure to tell your client what you're about to do. So it's a really like a dance with your client. What you do, you try to relax of the lumbar to create this little movement that with the aim of relaxing the sacral and to relax the lumbar and all the muscle, all the ligament that are around the sacral, the lumbar ligament, and you can even move it and actually stretch all the QL, but what you're stretching in reality is all the lateral line. So that allowed you, for example, if you have a tight QL, in this way you will kind of opening up all the line. You will opening up the TFL, you will opening up all the lateral line that go all the way into the ankle. Really helpful, especially for people with back pain that have a tendency to have a shoulder that is higher. In that case would be the other shoulder, the right shoulder that will be higher, and you will pressing down everything else. So now we stretching the glutes. And when we have some more work on the tibialis. So now you can see some work on the tibialis. Tibialis, that is a muscle that is super important when we step. Well, all the muscles are important, but this muscle can be sometimes really loaded, especially if you wear heels. So if you wear heels, this kind of this kind of massage, this working the retinaculum that start from the ankle all the way into the tibia and all the way into the knee, that can help a lot in the release the ankle itself and get rid of shin splint. Now we are working on the calf, another muscle that when you have shin splint is can be really tight. Well, let's say that all the compartment, when you have any kind of problem, is really tight. It can be the tibialis posterior, can be the tibialis anterior, or the gastrocnemius and the soleus. So as you can see, I like to work really deep into the tissue. I like to open up the foot. I like to make space in between the toes, so you have a good tripod and you're able to rock better on your ankle. And the rockers, a super important concept of the way you put your weight on the floor. It's basic for every athletic endeavor, but even on the walk, you want to put on the side and then go inside in the direction of the big toes. So now you can see from another angle the work on the tibialis. I like this position. Why? Because first of all, it's like I'm playing a guitar. So there is some kind of a comfortable. It's comfortable that position, so you can really move the ankle like you want it. You know, you can just create a version of the tip of the ankle and really work on the fascia on the lower limb, and then some pushing into the hips. And then I felt like what if I go on the knees and I start working on the tibialis in this position, another really comfortable position that I wasn't expecting. And you can even work on the side of the foot. Side of the foot that it's can be worked to allow as I said, a good tripod. So now we are working on the vastus, on the quadriceps. First, I'm warming up the tissue. So sometimes the quad can create a patellofemoral problem when it's too tight. And this position allows you even to work the entire legs and work on the flexor extension of the knee. So, and you can even check the ACL. And you can see now some active release technique. I'm doing with a thumb for more precision, but you can use different tools. It can be the elbow, it can be as you can see here. The elbow is sliding in the direction, cranial direction, where you have a flexion of the knee, and then you can even spread that quad in different direction. When I do videos, I got to tell you guys, sometimes I just try stuff. I just try new technique. I'm trying to see how I feel with new technique, because it's interesting. It's interesting to improvise new technique. So now you can see a really good work on the quad with a lot of movement. I was even using a kind of a deep lunge to do that work that you just see, and then to finish, you can just work on the other foot. But the change was too fast. I can sometimes stay on top of what I'm doing. So now you can see another work on the foot from another point of view. The inner of the ankle can be really painful and even pleasurable, to tell you the truth. This is a part that is connected with all that is related to water retention, to the kidney. So all that line is related to the kidney. So when you have a big puffy ankles, that line has to be worked. Then some more work on the inner again. Really slow work into the big toe. And then you can even work on the base of the big toe. We know the importance of the big toe. The big toe is probably one of the most important muscles of our body. If we have a weak big toe, we have most of the time a pronated or over-pronated foot, and that can create a lot of problem in the knee, in the hips, and in the back. So what you want to do is activate that big toe, try to make it work. So you can even check it sometimes, how strong it is while you're doing your therapy. Now we are back in facing down. So I'm starting with this called elephant walk from Thai massage to go all the way into the with my knee into the ischial tuberosity, and I'm gonna start working on the back. Really watch out when you put all the weight into the lumbar. You don't want to press too much there. So where you want to press it actually is on the thoracic. You probably feel some cracking there, some adjustment. I really like this technique. Of course, before you do this, and I will never stop repeating it, pay attention, ask the client, say, is it fine if I go on top of you? Because, it can be scary, especially if it's the first time that if it's your client trusts you, there is no problem. But, before you do something like this, if it's not a Thai massage and she or he is not expecting it, it's better to ask. Now I'm working on the cranium. I like working on that, all the line, starting from the sacral all the way up, and then I'm gonna stretch the chest. You ask the client to grab on your wrist, and you can stretch. Feels really good. Of course, if you have a shoulder problem in the front, maybe you should avoid that technique. And it's really interesting because sometimes I notice something in the client, and I start working really with attention to figure it out, what's going on, why there is that tension, why there is tension in the thoracic. So right now I'm checking the different vertebra to see if that rocking helped me out to figure it out, if there is some vertebra that is blocked. And checking the spring in the lumbar, the spring in the thoracic, and now we have another image. We're working on the multifidus and close to the sacral. And we can even start working on a QL. As you can see, I'm pushing in two different directions. I like to try, as I said, I like to try different things. This is a stretching of the QL. Even this technique, for example, the client, if he doesn't know you, you're just putting the hands in a really sensitive area. You should be aware of that when you're doing it. Some work on piriformis and glute medius. All the line has to be worked when you work on your client. And now some stretching of the iliopsoas. You can even, in the same time, give a good massage in the back. And again, back into the longissimus, back into the rotators of the spine. You can go really slow. And another image from the working on the piriformis, on the ischiocruralis, hamstring. This is a classical pin and stretch. You see this million of times. And this is similar to what I was doing before. And this is another way you can stretch, but you can even work on different part. So it's the same technique I was doing before, but you can try this variation, let's call it, and go back to what I was doing before. Remember that there is a close relationship between the flexor of the hips and the glutes. So you wanna, sometimes you can work both in. You can work, as I said, the psoas and then the glutes. Now we are on the sideline. Sideline. I'm gonna start working on the rhomboid. So you're pushing, and in the same time you find the trigger point, and you try to release that with some dynamic technique. You can do that in this position, or you can even go on the opposite side. You will see that another variation later. And some classical Thai technique. Here you can see the stretching of the. She's not really letting go. Oh yeah, now she is. And you can really stretch the trapezius in this position. You always want to give a little rub, a little massage, make her feel comfortable. The client to be, even if you're doing something that can be painful because of the inflammation that she has, you want to be aware that the pain you are creating in that moment. Now here in this position you can work practically all the thoracic. You can even work on the biceps. You can work on attachment of the pec minor, and you can work down under the scapula. The scapula that in this position is really available. You can go really under that and really work on that rhomboid, pushing and pulling, and it's really comfortable for the client. Of course, you're really close, and that can be threatening, but if you explain everything, the client is going to be fine. Here we're going to work on the QL and on the multifidus in different way. I like to follow the joint all the way into the innominate and try to open up that part that most of the time is really clogged up together. It's really, it need to be open up, it need to be liberated. The fascia sometimes is really tight in that position because of the way we walk, the way we stand, the way the gravity, a lot of things, the way we train sometimes. So if the QL get all shorter, you want to find a way to create space in between the crest of the hips and the last rib. So what we're doing is opening up before gentle, and then you can use some strengths, and you can even change the position. For example, I will put that arm on top of the head so that I have more space, and I can really open up the QL. Sometimes you want to just give a neurological aim to the massage. Just tell the body what direction it should go. Look how nice this massage is. I wish I can receive something like that myself. And this is the way you go from the sacral all the way up. That feels really good. All the client, probably this is one of the favorite technique. It's like when you go from the sacral all the way into the neck, they kind of there is this expectation of the way you're moving the finger all the way into the neck, but make the massage really comfortable and nice and warm and cozy. Now we are in a childlike position from yoga. It's really good because we are in flexion, so all the vertebrae are in flexion, especially the vertebra in the sacral, the L5 to L1. Allow you to work in a different way. I really like this position. Here, for example, we're working on the neck. Sometimes I just the first things I see, I start massaging because I think it's sometimes you get to feel your impulse. So here we go. Something similar to what I was doing before, but in the opposite direction, and we're gonna reach all the way into the sacral and the iliolumbar ligament. Sorry. So the idea is to spread. The idea is to open up. If somebody has hernia, this position can be uncomfortable, so I will not suggest to use it. Here's some Thai technique. And then you can even slide on top and reach all the way down. And then opening up the latissimus. Here we go. Of course, this is a technique that is really valuable. If somebody has problem in the sacral, this technique can be really painful. So pay attention how much stress you give in that position. And then I will ask the client to go in a cat-cow position. Why? Because we want to work in extension too. We just want to work in flexion and extension. At this time, we will concentrate mostly on the thoracic. So here we are in a flexion. Try to create space there, and then in extension. Of course, this is a way you create active, what is called active release technique, because you work with the body of the person in movement. Yeah, even the neck can be worked there. This is the cervical. Yeah, I can see. You can see how in the thoracic there is some restriction there. That's why I was working specifically in that position. And here you can do the same thing just with the neck. It's like a cobra position. You just use the neck to work all the traps, the splenius. Really comfortable position to work. After a while the shoulder get tired, so you want to be aware of it. Yeah, some work here on the last vertebrae. Try to open up. You can even stretch a little bit. One side, of course, the other side. But the muscle you feel the most is the traps, because when she go all the way down with the head, you will feel the trigger point in the traps get really tight. Però con questa arriva come se, anzi no, con esta così, come se quieres hacer una flexione, ¿sabes? Quindi perché con esta permette te subes para yeah, so un poco te subes arriba. I don't know what I was doing here. Probably some misunderstanding. No, I was asking the client to create some rotation so that I can work the muscle in a rotation. See, when she rotates, I work on that spine in a rotation mode, and you can even reach better the multifidus when she rotates. You see that the multifidus turn, and you can reach the multifidus that is now rotated and go deeper into it. And you can do the same thing on the other side, of course. Then some work again into the medium trapezius and rhomboid. Then some stretching of the chest while you working on the trapezius. So this is it's a way to stretch all the front while you're giving a massage. So guys, if you like my channel, subscribe, and remember I have a Patreon called Deep Tissue Lover with plus size women where I give a deep tissue massage. Okay, follow me. Thank you very much.